Welcome to lesson 48 of A Course in Miracles. There is nothing to fear. I have to always make sure with my glasses on. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. And let's just say it with conviction. There is nothing to fear. When we are in fear, and that's probably most of the time in this human form, it's because we're believing in the illusion. Because everything that we see, we think is true. Because what we perceive with our eyes and with our thoughts and with our beliefs is truth. We have in our mind a recollection of stories that, not only ours, but our parents, grandparents, of horror stories, of stories that, oh my God, this is scary. So, and sometimes we have really interesting beliefs, like if I'm happy, maybe something terrible will happen. Or, only people that are bad are rich, good people are poor. So we have really strange beliefs, and these beliefs are creating our reality, this illusion, this man-made creation that we're all creating individually and together. So I look at my world and I probably see it very differently to you. And if we both sit next to each other and I tell you about the way I look at my world, might be very different to the way you look at your world. We live in two different worlds. There might be some similarities, and this convinces us that we are in the same world. But if you were inside my body looking at the world, from my eyes and from my perception, you will realize how different we look at our world. Because the way we look at our world is individual, is based on all the veils that I have between me and the projection that I'm creating. So when I'm stuck in my own thoughts and beliefs about how relationships are, how health is, how my financial status is, how this situation about the pandemic is, a slip of the tongue. When we look at our world with all these beliefs, we are in fear. And unfortunately, fear has been used so much, I don't know, maybe for millennia, for centuries, I'm not very sure, when all this started. I think I heard someone saying it was like 30,000 years ago or something like that. This controlling us through fear. So the more we recognize that, the more we recognize that we live in fear, when we connect to this space within that is the space that we've been practicing, this deep down inside, underneath all the layers of illusion, beliefs, thoughts, stories, there's this holiness that I hold within. There's this silence. There is this trust. And when we connect to this trust, there is nothing to fear. There's just silence. And the lesson today says there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear, because when I connect to this God part of myself, which holds the wisdom of the whole universe, of course that there is nothing to fear. When I look at my world through my eyes, the Nancy eyes, and the stories that I've lived and the beliefs that I have about relationships and money and health and all that, when I look at my world through my own eyes, there's fear. But when I put all those thoughts away and I go, okay, that's enough, and I'm going to connect to my truth, and from my truth connect to the divine truth and the source, and we're all one, in this space there is nothing to fear. So bathe yourself in lesson 48. Just keep repeating that throughout the day. There is nothing to fear. And just let the emotions come up. You know, sometimes you might be going through something really scary, a financial situation, a relationship, a health issue. So that might pop up and go, oh my God, but what do you mean there's nothing to fear? I've got this illness. And just connect to that space of trust. And that was the lesson from before, you know. The lesson before was, let me find it. Oh, the lesson before was, God is the strength in which I trust. So trust and fear. So it's either I trust or I am in fear. I surrender or I am in fear. I feel peace or I am in fear. I feel love or I am in fear. So just keep practicing this idea and enjoy the lesson. And I'll see you tomorrow for lesson 49.